So the process originally starts out with developing a measure concept. Before it even moves on to the development phase overall, it starts out as a measure concept. And that measure concept starts with a gap analysis to see where gaps exist in healthcare to where we can develop a measure to actually fill those gaps. And those gaps could be from evidence that comes out, like clinical practice guidelines, noting that we need to have a patient on a certain medication because we know that sound evidence has told us this. And so once a concept has been developed, we also need to consider what other measures are out there in the market that are along the same lines of this measure concept. If there's another measure, we don't necessarily want to create a duplicative measure. Is there harmonization that can happen of the measure specifications that are already in existence? So after the measure concept is there, it moves on to development. And this is where we convene experts from the clinical side and also the technical side to really define the measure specifications. What are our eligible populations look like for the measure? What do our exclusions look like? And what's the numerator ultimately? What are the data sources that are most appropriate to actually capture the measure concept? And also, what's the level of accountability? Who are we holding accountable? Is it health plans or providers, individual physicians, etc.? So once the measure's been fully developed, it needs to be tested. And it needs to be tested for its scientific acceptability. So is it valid? Is it reliable? And also, is it feasible? And if it upholds against those criteria, it can then move forward to endorsement, which there's other criteria to consider as well. How is it going to be used? What's the usability of the measure? Is it really important and impactful to healthcare? And then if it passes that, it gets that golden seal of approval of endorsement. It can then be implemented. So it's a long process, and it's very time intensive, but it's needed to develop a good quality measure.